Everest. When you mention this mountain's name, your mind is likely to immediately bring to mind a variety of pictures and stories from its relatively recent, yet utterly fascinating and frequently contentious history. The story of Chomolungma is one that is full of mystery and intrigue, from the glorious first ascent of Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay to the tragic end met by so many who have sought to climb the planet's highest peak. Hello and welcome back to our channel Curious Media. If you haven't already, then make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon to never miss an update. In this video, we walk you through some of the most puzzling mysteries that have come to define the tallest mountain on Earth since the first European expeditions there in the early 20th century brought the mountain into the public eye. Number 4. The Yeti. The folklore of the local Nepali and Tibetan tribes describes a bipedal, hirsute, nocturnal creature living among them. As a result, many of the earliest reports of Yeti sightings originate from the Everest region. More recently, a number of sightings, footprints, and even DNA proof have greatly helped to support the claims of the local storytellers. Examples include the enormous footprints made by Eric Shipton's Everest expedition in 1951 that were discovered at 6,000 meters, and the Yeti scalp kept in Chomolungma's monastery on Everest's south side. The conclusions made in 2009 by Joshua Gates and his Destination Truth team are arguably even more convincing. A forensic analyst examined the hair samples taken by Gates from a set of footprints that were 33 centimeters long and 25 centimeters wide. He came to the conclusion that the samples contained a completely new and previously unidentified DNA sequence. Number 3. First Ascent 2. The Russians. Before Hillary and Tenzing's illustrious ascent in 1952, a Russian expedition is said to have attempted to ascend Everest via the North Route in Tibet. At the time, news reports even implied that this optimistic group intended to erect statues of Lenin and Stalin on the summit. In preparation for a summit attempt, the expedition set up a final camp at about 8,000 meters, but they later vanished without a trace. Further complicating matters, the Russians have consistently insisted that the 1952 expedition never happened at all, despite a report published by Yevgeny Gippenreiter in the Alpine Journal later that same year that claimed the 35-person team had set out to attempt the Northeast Ridge route. Additionally, on April 21, 1952, the Sydney Morning Herald made predictions about the team's chances up the mountain. No indication of the names of the team members or leaders has been discovered despite numerous efforts. That's quite suspicious, don't you guys think so? Number 2. The third person. Mountaineers Dougal Haston and Doug Scott from Britain were forced to spend the night in the death zone in September 1975 after arriving at the summit of Everest late in the day. They dug a snow hole and camped out there for the night, not knowing if they would make it to dawn. The oxygen soon ran out for them. They had no food, and their supply of butane for the heater was running low. Then, the unbelievable occurred. The two climbers claimed to have sensed the presence of another person in the snow cave with them, a person who not only shared its vital body heat, but also provided counsel and ideas to keep the climbers warm and alive. Others who have climbed Everest, including Peter Hillary, Lincoln Hall, and Reinhold Messner, to name a few, have described a similar presence that helped them when they needed it. If you are enjoying the video so far, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends. That said, let's take a look at which mysterious happening on Mount Everest topped our list. Number 1. The deaths of 2017 that never occurred. On May 22, 2017, news of 4 corpses discovered in a tent at Camp 4 reached Everest Base Camp. The unfortunate climbers were discovered by a team sent up the mountain to recover the body of a Slovakian climber who had perished on his ascent 3 days earlier and were thought to have died from altitude sickness. It was unclear who the 4 climbers might have been when it was discovered that none of the climbing agencies on the mountain were missing any climbers, or at least had any who were unaccounted for. As news organizations around the world covered the tragedy, the Nepalese Tourism Ministry spoke out and said that they believed the bodies to be those of climbers from one of the expeditions from the previous year. However, things became more complicated when it was found that none of these expeditions had also reported any missing climbers. The investigation is still ongoing, adding to the numerous mysteries that have befallen Mount Everest. the highest and most enigmatic mountain on Earth. In addition to drawing some of the craziest, most passionate, and daring adventurers the world has ever known, and perhaps even the occasional ghost and Yeti, this 8,848-meter giant has also been the scene of some of the most bizarre, puzzling, and eerie incidents in mountaineering history, as you guys just saw in the video. Which one of these mysterious happenings on Mount Everest astounded you the most? Let us know in the comments. If you found the video informative and entertaining, then don't forget to like and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching.